Hey everybody, Brian here with Six Flags Fiesta Texasaurus. We're back at the park. It is Friday night. I just drove in from Dallas. There's about an hour left in the water park, so I'm gonna go to the water park, ride some more stuff, maybe ride Thunder Rapids one more time. I did bring my waterproof camera. So we're gonna go into the water park and we're gonna check it out. We only have about an hour, so we've gotta kinda hurry. So follow me. All right, we're in the water park. For those of you that don't know, water park is free with park admission. So you just go like you're going into Crack Axle Canyon, and the entrance is right there on the right, pretty close to the main entrance. So I just rented a locker. You go to this little kiosk here and they give you a locker. Unfortunately, these are basically you rent all day type of locker. I was hoping maybe because it's the last hour it'd be a little cheaper. Unfortunately, standard size locker is still $14, even though I get to use it for an hour. So we're gonna switch out to the GoPro, or I should say GoPro knockoff, and go check some stuff out. The last two times I've ventured into the water park this season, these two slides have actually been closed, so it's nice to see that they are running today. I was getting a little worried about it. Wasn't really sure what was happening. Looks like everything's good to go now though. I know this quality isn't good, but this is about to tip over, so get out of the sun a little bit. Oh, there it goes. Crap. Oh. Somebody just laying on the floor. That's kind of weird. I will say this about the water park. It's not super busy today. However, I am finding myself kind of having a difficult time navigating. Now it's a little bit busier than that last Sunday we were here. The lines are a little bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and head over to Thunder Rapids just because I want to make sure I at least get that ride in, since I've pretty much been on everything else a handful of times. Here's the park's Texas-shaped wave pool, Lone Star Lagoon. You got to walk by that to get over to Thunder Rapids over there. It's not as crowded as normal in the wave pool, which is interesting. I don't know if I mentioned this before, the max weight on this is 550 pounds. There is a 2-rider minimum. There's also a single rider line, which you have to go through the main line like these people aren't doing. And then once you get in a little bit, there will be a break off into the main rider line, or the single rider line. And that is where I am going to go once I get up here far enough. They did a really nice job over here. The landscaping's really nice. There's a pretty decent lineup here, but it's not super packed. I think a lot of people might be on the fence about this ride. I'll kind of give you guys a better idea once I've ridden it again, because last time I was very distracted by my friends freaking out. Alright guys, just got off Thunder Rapids for the second time. Very sunny, and then not sunny. Water park is closing right now, so I'm going to go enjoy the rest of the park. However, I'll give you kind of a consensus on Thunder Rapids. It's very fun, don't get me wrong. However, once you kind of get some momentum going, it ends up kind of being destroyed by the lift hills. I think that they wanted the lift hills to be a little more seamless than they are. Now don't get me wrong, when it launches you up, water just goes everywhere and it's crazy. Like, there's no way you get off that ride with an ounce of dryness. And that's really fun. The bowls are very fun. You get kind of in the groove and you go around, and it's very high speed. But the momentum does get killed a little bit, and I'm a little on the fence about it, because I do realize that if we did go quicker through those lift hill areas, it would be a lot more painful. You can kind of feel it on that last lift hill. You actually go into that lift hill with quite a bit of momentum, and you feel it in the tushy, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't wait in a super long line for it. They do have the single rider line, which is awesome, because I'd probably ride it every time I came. It is very different, so I will give it that. But I just want to say one more thing. The water park is very clean today. Everything is very nice, and the employees have been very efficient, which is great. So we're gonna head back out into the main park so we can kind of get out of their hair over here a little bit. Because the water park is closed, this restaurant is closed. This is Cactus Jack's Snack Shack, which is at the entrance of Whitewater Bay. They added these free refills only signs, so when they're lit up, the free refills only line is open. They also did this at Tidal Wave Cafe. I'm not gonna walk back over there because the park is closing. Well, the water park is closing and they're trying to funnel everybody out. But they did get a free refills only line and sign over there as well. For for dinner, I stopped back over at Old Blues Barbecue, got the sliced brisket sandwich with the potato salad. Was here last time, it was pretty good, so I'm hoping it's pretty good again. Got a little bit of time to kill, so we're gonna go ahead and catch Vibe over here in Teatro Fiesta. Drop of Doom virtual reality began this past weekend. You can see everyone has their headsets on. They also have put this box right at the tower. Not super sure what that is. I'm sure it has something to do with making this function properly. If you guys remember, if you rode any of the virtual reality rides at Six Flags last year, you actually had to look at the seat in front of you on a roller coaster, and it had one of those little code deals on it, and that's kind of how the system synced up. So I wonder if that box is trying to help keep that alleviated. As you can see, this isn't running the way it normally does. This is running in only drop tower mode, so it's going to take everybody up slowly and then drop them instead of launching and dropping. Now if you want to ride the ride normal, one of the towers is running just a normal cycle with no headset. So it looks like this tower does run in combo mode. However, this tower with the VR capabilities on it only runs in drop. Yeah, so the other tower is running in combo. Now another thing you want to pay attention to is VR doesn't happen all day. It only happens the second part of the day. If you go to our website, sffTsource.com, and you go look at the news on the main page, you can kind of see the schedule depending on the park hours as to when you can do VR. And remember, this only runs through next month, so if you want to do it, make sure you get out here before the middle of August. Kind of curious to see if they'll take down that coming soon wrap they have on the main sign. I also wanted to say one more thing. I'm not out here just this one day. This weekend I'll be back out here on Sunday. So for those of you who participated in the history part, I did get asked about the Loop Drive-In and when Scream and Boomerang opened. I'll elaborate on that in our next video, and I'll go into I'll try to go into pretty good detail about everything when I come back out here. If you guys keep up with the Six Flags Over Texas videos, you remember I showed you guys this photo booth. Well, they have started to appear at Fiesta, Texas. This is on the boardwalk next to Spinsanity. So it's kind of just a cooler way to do a photo booth, a little more of a theme and just a little more fun overall. I have a question for everybody, and I'm not trying to be mean, but who actually likes these? I mean, come on. Not that many people at the park like it. So I'm just curious because they installed a lot of these at various parks. As you guys have heard, if you keep up with social media, Power Surge will be closing for good this Sunday, and by the time this video is out, this ride will actually be closed. Now, the real speculation is what's going to be happening back here. I'm going to kind of walk around back there in the queue line and just kind of see if there's any markings or anything that could give us an idea of what might be coming back here. It might be too early for that. We'll just kind of take a look. I do have a sign out at the front saying this closes on July 23rd. Make sure you come ride it. As you guys can see, there's actually a ton of space back here where this ride is. There's a huge field between the queue line and the ride. And then if you look back behind the ride, it's actually a ton of space that wraps back around towards Pandemonium. As you can see, this is the area kind of off to the side from Power Surge, and just really a lot of room. You can just think when they get rid of all of this, which spans way up towards the wall, they'll have a lot of room for something, and we'll kind of see what Six Flags has up their sleeve. There's definitely a couple of options that people are thinking about online. Now, I don't quite see any markings back there in that area yet. It might be a little early for that. They might demolish the ride first before they put markings. And that's saying that we actually get anything back here. I think we're pretty positive that we're going to get something back here. But you really never know. They could be getting rid of the ride because it's a nightmare maintenance-wise. Now, I didn't ride this ride a lot when it was around, and you know, I've had a few people come up to me today just kind of saying they're sad, they're paying their last respects. It's always a little sad when a ride leaves, regardless of if you've ridden it or not. It's been here the whole time the park has been open, so it's very sad to watch it go. Now, two of the rumors that I've heard back here are that we may be getting a GCI wooden coaster. We may also be getting one of those single rail Raptor roller coasters from Rocky Mountain. Time will tell. We're gonna come back on Sunday, we'll pay our final respects to the ride, give you guys some more footage that day. You can see this is kind of a big deal to some people. There's been a few groups taking pictures next to the farewell sign. Waiting for the Celebrate Firework show. I'm gonna have to see that again, of course, but this is the arcade that's on the corner here at Crack Axle Canyon. You can see that they've done a lot of work to this building. Here last time some of the awning was kind of messed up, but they've replaced all of that and repainted it, and they've gone all the way down to the end. It's looking really good. I wonder what's happening to the inside, because if you guys remember, the inside's actually been closed for a while now too. I'm gonna sit a little further back for Celebrate to see if I can kind of get the fireworks, projection, and the bridge special effects all in the same frame for you guys.
As the sun sets on a day of thrill and the moon begins to rise, it's time to celebrate the magic and surprise of the night. We hope you enjoyed celebrating this amazing day with us, and thank you for visiting.
Alright folks, that's going to do it for tonight's visit to Fiesta, Texas. Very pleasant visit. Nice little 3-hour visit. 1 hour spent in the water park, 2 hours spent in the main park, and it was incredibly pleasant. What can I say about Celebrate? It's incredible. If you don't come see it, you're really missing out. That's all I gotta say. There's not really words to describe it. I just feel like Six Flags really went out of their way to really revamp the fireworks show and just make it something that you're gonna remember. And, you know, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a chance to come out and really appreciate it yourselves. Like I said, that's gonna do it for today's visit. I'm gonna be back out here in 2 days. We'll say farewell to Power Surge. We will talk about some of the history you guys are asking about. I'm hoping that video goes up the day after this video goes up, so be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna give you all that history stuff, and we'll kind of walk around the park, see what we can get into, and see some shows, you know, eat some food, have a good time, do our usual thing. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't checked out our roller coaster road trip yet, make sure you go check out those videos. We had a great time on the East Coast at 4 different parks, so make sure you check that out if you're interested in kind of seeing how some other Six Flags parks do some things, and some not so Six Flags parks, the way they do things as well. Like I said, guys, thanks for watching. That's gonna do it for tonight. See you later.